everything is changing in our environment and our workplace, who of you thinks that they already work in a very innovative company? Hands up. Yeah, okay. Few ones. Who of you considers themselves as maybe someone who is an innovation leader, whose daily work is, okay, a few, yes. Because, well, listen up, people, we got a very interesting next talk about innovation as we're moving towards our section of how do you become an innovative company. We got an expert here who is taking no bullshit talk and who is clearly experienced in taking companies to the next level of innovations. He is the co-founder and CEO, also managing director of Mantro, who is also a sponsor here today and my current work. So I'm delighted to introduce my boss, Manfred, here on stage. He is an expert since over 12 years in that field of innovation and in changing and disrupting other companies' business models and all that is about finding the idea, finding the innovation and really getting into the insights and doing something very cool and maybe some epic shit that you would say. So please give a very warm welcome to Manfred. Welcome him on stage. Thanks.
Okay, Daniel, we gotta talk about that picture. Well, thank you very much for letting me on stage here. First of all, technology. Yeah, no. So as Hannah said, I'm actually into creating innovation, creating new businesses all of the time, but since I've got a panel afterwards here with some other very, very interesting people, I'm not so much talking about what we are doing right now. My plan in this keynote or in this talk is to tell you why I think we need innovation in our society. And afterwards, with these great people that come on stage, we're going to talk about how we do that. So my part is more about the why, which if you all, as you are actually one of the top 5% of this society, what it means of talking about how to be innovative, how to go to the next level, you all know Simon Sinek and the why, how, what thing, and so on. So we're going to stick to that, and I'm going to talk about the why and the how and the what comes afterwards. My headline actually is Society Needs Us. I talked to Daniel a few days ago about this keynote and what I was thinking about, and he told me what he would talk in earlier today in this opening keynote, and I had the idea maybe we should do it slightly different. We just heard a lot about how work is changing, and in my honest opinion, this will happen, but it will not save us because it will take too long. It is just before we start changing the culture in all our working environments, and to be honest, I don't think that Microsoft is a very good example for the whole German working experience here, because there are people that are already quite innovative when they started working at Microsoft. They are in an industry that is innovative itself. It's not like those, I don't know, I don't have the concrete number, but 80 to 90% of people are doing handwork jobs. And when Microsoft is transforming, you don't get all the workers in a company with, I don't know, 370,000 people like Bosch, for example, changed in like, oh, we're switching to a dynamic office mode. This is just not happening. And if we see how much the world is changing and how fast it is changing, I don't think just saying that we need to change working environment will be fast enough to save our wealth. My first hypothesis that I want to state here, it's not startups and all our cool things and our great innovative working environment that actually feed our society and that makes the money and the wealth in our country. And in a lot of countries all around the world. So in the end, it's not those cool hipsters that wear tight jeans and are so cool. And no, it's the people that work on a manufacturing line. It's the people that really still do contracts and really do still take faxes and put them into an SAP or something. Those are the people that actually work there and that create a lot of value in our society. Another thing is most jobs are non-academic workers, or done by non-academics, which is something where, so I stopped my studies, I didn't even finish, so I'm one of those guys, but I at least started. Now the thing is that it's not like, when we talk about innovation and what we want to do and how great things are and how great digital can become, it's just not like everybody understands it and feels that way and hasn't experienced a long-term education. A lot of people just started working with 17 or 18 years. They were 17 or 18 years old. And this is something you have to keep in mind when you design solutions, when you create innovation, when you create new business models. What I read yesterday, I think this was announced this week, that 25% of Germans are digitally lost. This is an official study. So what that means is that they cannot work with the internet. They don't know. It's not like they are afraid of using online banking. They don't know how to do that. That's 25%, and I think the correlation between those 25% and the people that are actually working jobs that create a lot of value in our whole economic environment, that one is quite high, the correlation. So let's go to companies. When we see how many people work in companies that have been around for the last 20, 30, 50, 100 years, the amount is huge. So the percentage of people that work in traditional environments actually are the most people that are out there. And when I talk about innovation in those companies, I see them running through a concept that is actually somewhere in psychology, and I think all of you know it or have heard about it at least. It's those 5 stages of grief. You know that when you get sick, you get cancer or something, in the psychology you say, or there at least is a theory, that you run through these 5 stages of grief, which are, first of all, anger. You're disappointed at everyone, First thing is denial. You say, no, it cannot be me. Second one is anger, and I'm screaming at everyone, no, you are responsible for me. That's basically where all the relationships end when you get or a lot of relationships end when you get a very big illness or something, because you're saying, oh, I wasted my life with you, and so. Next thing is bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So, and you're running through this cycle. It's not so much about the theory, but what I like about it a lot is that what you see is that you're actually not in control at all throughout the process. And I think that's something you see in parallel when you're looking at companies that are in economic environments that change a lot. And then it's what happens when you talk about disruption, when markets change, and you always say, why didn't Daimler or BMW invent Uber? Why didn't the Hilton Group invent Airbnb? Because they are just not looking at it. They are out of control. There's someone else that is in control about his company, his small environment that is creating up. And if an organization is big enough and is fed with success, they are just not in control. So what's actually happens is that there is one chance to be innovative again. And I think that's when you're most angry as a company. So maybe an example for me, I think getting angry at someone is a kind of energy that you create. And then it comes to corporate culture that says, to be honest, in Germany, most likely you have, oh no, those guys are stupid and we're going to sue them with everything we got, like taxis suing Uber. Yeah, but I can promise you this will not hold for long. We will have Uber also in Germany. The full Uber. You can delay a process. This is what you can do. But if your reaction is just delaying someone else and attacking and not thinking about yourself and be angry at yourself, then you will not be innovative anymore. I think also when we talk about failing fast and this failure culture is about, every good entrepreneur I ever met is totally pissed when something goes wrong. It's not like this thing you read in books about the Silicon Valley, oh, fail fast, oh, you're so good because you failed so often and you pivoted or something. No, the good entrepreneurs are actually so extremely pissed and aggressive when they did something wrong and they had a wrong estimation about what's going to happen, that they do it again out of, I cannot fail. I am not the one that's going to lose on this. But they're doing it, their response to the outside is positive, but not on the inside. They are not going to sleep and then saying, yes, I failed again. I did something great. And everybody that's talking about an entrepreneurial behavior in corporates or something should think about that it's something about aggression and about failing and what you make out of failure and something that goes wrong. So which actually means if you're not angry anymore as a company, your hands are tied. You're going to lose anyway. So stick with it, keep it as long as possible. But also from an employee perspective, I have so many friends working in big corporates which I actually see failing in the next 10 years, and I tell them go to other companies because it's harder to go out there when all the 20,000 other people also want to get a new job. So do it now when the time is good. The question is now, and that's basically, I think what's the most thing about the talk I'm giving right now and our discussion later on, why should this matter to us? And I think it's easy mathematics. If most of the people that create value in our society are bound to traditional jobs, that will change in the future through new working concepts, through digitalization and so on. I think a company like SoundCloud with 100 employees won't save the German economy. Yeah, you're talking about companies that have, I don't know, from the SMEs that have 2,000 to 3,000 employees, you're talking to a big corporation with 100,000 employees. But if these employee numbers go down and people are not paid anymore, we won't settle that with a few startups that are successful. And the success rate of startups is not this 1 to 10 thing or 1 to 9 thing that you hear. So success rate in the means of they are really employing huge amount of people that actually earn money and go out and shop again and consume for that money. And this is the people we need. And we are in a time, and everybody of us thinks about that very much, I think, where we have this nationalist shift and everybody, and we hear all the time now it's also in the press that we have so many lost people and people that are not feeling well anymore and well accepted anymore. What do you think will happen when they lose their jobs? When they really are not paid money anymore? Yeah? A lot of those people that we think are just all non-working people somewhere in Gelsenkirchen drinking beer all the time, that's not true. There's a lot of people that are just afraid of losing their job that still have a job. And I think if we don't create innovation in that environments that they're already working in, we're going to have much bigger consequences that we feel right now. That's one important thing. So another aspect to that is that I personally think when a startup is growing big enough, you need exactly those people that do the jobs that are not so sexy. You're not always in this 10 to 50 people environment where everybody is doing something great and something very senseful for the future, where they can go home and drink club mate and are happy about themselves. This changes. When a company gets big enough, Zalando has a lot of workers that are just in a storage facility and doing logistics. Yeah. This is still happening and this is still out there, and this was a startup a few years ago when they started out. And why should we be so arrogant saying that all the work's changing and we don't need those people in the future anymore? If we're doing this right, if we are innovative, we're just creating companies where those people have work. And that's what I tell all our clients all the time and our partners that we are creating new products with. I have the best job a consultant can have, because when I go out of your company, you have more work to do and you need more people, which is normally what consultants don't do, because they go in and you do the same thing with less people. We do the complete different thing. We go in, create something new where you need your people gonna have jobs in the future, and hopefully you're gonna need even more because you're making so fucking much money that you can afford them and you need them. And I think this is the mindset that everybody of us should talk about. If you work in a corporate, or you work in a startup, or you're doing things like us working together with corporates to create new. Our basic job is to create new jobs in the society, make people work. Then they don't think about getting lost, and well, some people will always think they're getting lost, but if we create work and if we create innovation, if we create something that keeps our society as rich as it is right now, actually that's the best thing we can do. And we should focus on that. And if we fail, we do it again. We create new things, we make it better, and then it's fine for everyone that we are successful with that. And that is why I think society needs us, people in this room, that think about innovation, think about new ways of working, think about new ways of living, thinking about how to create new things. And I'm really happy to have you guys on stage right now to talk about how we should do it and really give some hands-on tips how you did it, how we created something together with other people, and how we can maybe create an ecosystem of innovation in this country. And you sent out all those people after our panel, and they just want to create new things. That's actually your job now. Thank you so much.